Good day, beloved. Today I stand before you to remind you of a truth that will set your spirit ablaze. God is preparing you for a major breakthrough. Yes, you may feel like you're stuck, pressed on every side, or walking through a season of uncertainty. But let me tell you, what you perceive as delay is often divine preparation. The divine disruption is one of the most profound ways God prepares His children for a major breakthrough. It often comes unexpectedly, shaking the very foundations of our lives and dismantling the structures we have built to feel secure. When this disruption occurs, it can feel unsettling, even overwhelming. Yet, it is through these moments of upheaval that God does His greatest work. He interrupts our plans not to harm us, but to align us with His divine purpose. Consider this: comfort zones are often the breeding grounds for complacency. We grow accustomed to routines, settle into predictable rhythms, and cling to what feels safe. But God is not interested in our comfort. He is committed to our growth. Growth requires change, and change often requires a disruption. It is in these moments of divine disruption that God moves us out of the ordinary and into the extraordinary. He shakes us loose from what is familiar, so that we can embrace what is destined. Divine disruption often begins with a stirring in your spirit, a sense that the status quo is no longer sufficient. You may feel an inexplicable restlessness, as though you are being called to something greater but cannot yet see the full picture. This is God's way of preparing your heart and mind for what lies ahead. He disrupts not only your circumstances but also your thinking, challenging you to see beyond your limitations and trust in His limitless power. Sometimes this disruption comes in the form of loss or unexpected challenges. You may lose a job, face a broken relationship, or encounter setbacks that seem insurmountable. These moments can feel like the end of a chapter, but they are often the beginning of a new one. God allows certain things to be removed from your life, not as punishment, but as preparation. He is clearing the way for something far greater than you could imagine. During divine disruption, it is essential to recognize that God's timing and methods are perfect, even when they don't align with our understanding. What feels like chaos is often construction. God is rebuilding and realigning your life according to His plans, which are far higher than ours. He sees the end from the beginning and knows exactly what is needed to prepare you for your breakthrough. In the midst of this disruption, it's natural to feel fear or doubt. But remember, God is not a God of confusion. He is a God of order and purpose. He is breaking old patterns and removing obstacles that would hinder your progress. Your responsibility is to trust Him, even when the path is unclear. Surrender your fears, your plans, and your preferences to Him, knowing that He is orchestrating every detail for your good and His glory. Divine disruption is never wasted. It is a sacred invitation to step into a new level of faith and dependence on God. Though the process may be uncomfortable, the outcome will always be worth it. When God disrupts your life, it is a sign that He is preparing you for something extraordinary, a breakthrough that will not only transform your life but also impact the lives of others. Trust the process, for divine disruption is a sure sign that God is at work. Unseen growth is one of the most powerful yet often overlooked aspects of divine preparation. It is the work God does behind the scenes, in the quiet and hidden places of your life, where transformation takes root. This growth is not always visible, but it is essential for the fulfillment of your purpose. Like a seed planted deep within the soil, the process begins in darkness, where no one can see the progress being made. When God is preparing you for a major breakthrough, He often allows a season of obscurity. This is not because He has forgotten you, but because He is fortifying you. Just as a tree's roots grow deep into the earth before it can stand tall, God is working on the foundation of your character, your faith, and your resilience. These qualities are necessary to sustain the blessings He has in store for you. Without this unseen growth, the weight of your calling could overwhelm you. This season of growth can feel frustrating, especially when it seems like nothing is happening. You may look around and see others advancing, achieving their goals, and stepping into their breakthroughs while you feel stuck. But remember, God's timing is perfect. What looks like a delay is often divine preparation. He is not holding you back. He is building you up. He is ensuring that when the breakthrough comes, you are fully equipped to handle it. In these moments, patience and trust become your greatest allies. It is tempting to rush ahead, to force things to happen in your own strength. Yet growth that is forced is not sustainable. True transformation takes time. God's process is intentional, and every moment of waiting serves a purpose. He uses this time to refine your character, to teach you lessons, and to deepen your relationship with Him. These are the elements that prepare you for lasting success. Unseen growth is also where faith is tested and strengthened. When you cannot see progress, you must rely on God's promises. Faith is not about seeing, it is about believing. It is about trusting that God is working even when evidence is scarce. This trust allows you to remain steadfast, to keep moving forward, and to hold on to hope, even in the face of uncertainty. As you navigate this season, you will begin to notice subtle changes. Perhaps your perspective shifts, your patience increases, or your ability to endure challenges grows stronger. These are signs that God's work within you is taking shape. Over time, what was once hidden will become visible. The growth that took place in the unseen will manifest in ways that bless not only you, but also those around you. God's preparation is thorough because His plans for you are significant. He knows the magnitude of the breakthrough He is preparing for you, and He will not allow you to enter into it unprepared. Trust in the process of unseen growth. It is in the hidden places that God does His most transformative work, shaping you into the person He has called you to be. Increased opposition is often a clear indication that a significant breakthrough is near. When God is about to move powerfully in your life, the challenges you face may intensify. This is not coincidental. The closer you get to stepping into your divine purpose, the more resistance you are likely to encounter. Opposition, while uncomfortable, is a tool God uses to strengthen your faith, sharpen your focus, and prepare you for the weight of the blessings ahead. The enemy does not waste time on what does not pose a threat. If you are facing opposition, it is because you are advancing towards something significant. The enemy sees the potential in your life and tries to stop you before you fully realize it. This resistance is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is confirmation that you are on the right one. The spiritual battles you face are evidence that you are pressing into the territory God has assigned to you. Opposition can take many forms. It may come as doubt, fear, or discouragement that tries to creep into your heart and mind. It may appear as external challenges, such as strained relationships, financial difficulties, or unexpected setbacks. These obstacles are designed to distract you, wear you down, and make you question whether the promise is worth pursuing. Yet, every time you face resistance, you have an opportunity to rise above it and grow stronger. During these moments, it is crucial to shift your perspective. Opposition is not meant to destroy you, but to develop you. God allows challenges not to harm you, but to refine you. The pressures you face are like the fire that purifies gold, removing impurities and revealing its true value. Each trial strengthens your resolve, deepens your dependence on God, and equips you with the perseverance needed to steward your breakthrough. When opposition arises, it is easy to feel overwhelmed or even doubt God's presence. But remember, His promises are unshakable. He does not abandon you in the midst of the storm. In fact, He uses the storm to prepare you for the calm that follows. The greater the opposition, the greater the testimony you will carry. What feels like a battle now will one day be the story of God's faithfulness and power working through you. Increased opposition also forces you to lean into God like never before. It strips away self-reliance and reminds you that the battle is not yours but His. He calls you to stand firm in faith, to put on the full armor of God, and to trust that He will fight on your behalf. This victory is assured, not because of your strength, but because of His. The resistance you face today is a sign of the breakthrough that awaits you. Every challenge, every setback, and every ounce of opposition is working together to prepare you for the fulfillment of God's promises. Hold on, stand strong, and press forward. The breakthrough is closer than you think, and the opposition you face now will only amplify the glory of the victory to come. Fresh vision is one of the most profound indicators that God is preparing you for a new season. It is a divine stirring in your spirit, a sense of clarity and direction that brings purpose to your journey. When God births a fresh vision within you, it serves as both a roadmap and a motivator, propelling you toward the future He has designed for you. It is a gift that redefines your priorities, aligns your steps, and equips you to pursue a destiny that is far greater than anything you could imagine on your own. A fresh vision often emerges in times of uncertainty or transition. It may come after a period of waiting when you've been seeking answers and clarity. In those moments, God begins to reveal glimpses of what He has prepared for you. This vision is not just about achieving goals, it is about aligning your life with His purpose. It reflects His heart, His kingdom, and His plan for you to make an impact on the world around you. It is as though God pulls back the curtain just enough for you to see what lies ahead, igniting a fire in your spirit that cannot be quenched. This vision often challenges you to dream bigger, think differently, and step outside of your comfort zone. It requires faith, for the vision God gives is always greater than your own ability to accomplish it. This is intentional because it ensures that you rely on Him, not on your strength or resources. God's visions are kingdom-centered, meaning they are designed not only to bless you, but to extend His influence through you. Whether it's a calling to a new career, a ministry, a creative endeavor, or a personal transformation, the vision carries the mark of His divine purpose. When God plants a fresh vision in your heart, it often comes with a sense of urgency and excitement. Yet, it also requires stewardship. A vision, no matter how clear or compelling, must be nurtured and cultivated. This means seeking God's guidance daily, staying in prayer, and being attentive to His voice. It also means taking practical steps of faith, even when the path ahead seems unclear. God rarely reveals the entire plan at once. Instead, He provides enough light for the next step, inviting you to trust Him along the way. Fresh vision also brings clarity to your priorities. It allows you to focus on what truly matters and let go of distractions. It sharpens your sense of purpose and helps you recognize opportunities that align with God's plan. This clarity is crucial, for pursuing a God-given vision often requires sacrifice. You may need to leave behind old habits, relationships, or even ambitions that no longer serve the direction God is leading you. As the vision grows within you, it begins to transform not just your actions, but your perspective. It shifts how you see yourself, your circumstances, and your potential. It fills you with hope, even in challenging times, because you know that what you are pursuing is not temporary or trivial, it is eternal and meaningful. A fresh vision is both a gift and a responsibility, a divine calling that beckons you to partner with God in fulfilling His purpose for your life. Isolation for refinement is a sacred process that God often uses to prepare His children for greater assignments. It can feel like a season of separation where familiar connections fade and you find yourself alone in ways you've never experienced before. But this isolation is not a punishment, it is a divine strategy. God pulls you away from the noise, the distractions, and even the influences that might hinder your growth so He can work deeply within you. It is a time for personal transformation, where the focus shifts entirely to your relationship with Him and His purpose for your life. In these moments of isolation, God sharpens your character. It is in the quiet and stillness that you become most aware of your strengths and weaknesses. Without the constant noise of the world around you, you are forced to confront the areas of your life that need change. This refining process is not always easy. It can bring to the surface unresolved pain, pride, fears, or habits that need to be surrendered. But God, in His grace, uses this time to purify and strengthen you, making you a vessel fit for His use. Isolation also deepens your dependence on God. When familiar sources of comfort or support are removed, you have no choice but to lean entirely on Him. This is where intimacy with God grows. In the solitude, you learn to hear His voice more clearly, to discern His guidance more precisely, and to trust Him more deeply. It is in these moments of reliance that your faith is fortified. The isolation teaches you that God is enough, that His presence and provision are sufficient for every need. This process also allows God to clarify your purpose. When distractions are stripped away, the vision for your life becomes clearer. In isolation, you gain perspective on where you've been and where God is leading you. He reveals new assignments, fresh perspectives, and directions you may have overlooked in the busyness of life. The separation creates space for divine revelation, allowing you to see not just what God has planned, but who He is calling you to become. Isolation for refinement often prepares you for elevation. Before God entrusts you with greater responsibility or influence, He ensures that your foundation is strong enough to sustain it. This is why the process is so intentional. God knows the weight of your calling, and He uses this time to equip you to carry it. He strips away anything that could hinder your progress and instills qualities like patience, humility, resilience, and discipline, which are essential for your next season. Though it may feel lonely, isolation is a sign that God is doing a profound work in you. It is in these hidden seasons that the greatest growth takes place. You may not see the results immediately, but the changes happening within you are setting the stage for the breakthrough ahead. Trust the process, lean into God's presence, and allow Him to refine you for the incredible things He has prepared. Supernatural favor is a mark of God's divine approval and presence in your life, a sign that He is working in ways that go beyond human effort or explanation. It is the manifestation of His grace, opening doors that no man can shut and aligning circumstances in ways that defy logic. When God's favor is upon you, things that seemed impossible suddenly become possible, and what was once out of reach comes into your hands with ease. It is a clear indication that His hand is guiding you toward your destiny. The favor of God is not something earned, it is a gift. It flows from His love and His desire to fulfill His purpose through you. When supernatural favor begins to manifest, it is often accompanied by an undeniable sense of divine timing. Opportunities arise that you could never have orchestrated on your own. People are drawn to you, resources become available, and obstacles that once seemed insurmountable are removed. It is as though everything is aligning perfectly, and you know it is not by your own doing but by God's intervention. The supernatural favor often comes at pivotal moments, especially when God is preparing to launch you into a new season. It acts as a confirmation that you are walking in His will and that the path ahead has been divinely ordained. However, favor is not just about blessings, it is about purpose. God's favor is always tied to His kingdom agenda. When He grants favor, it is not just for your benefit, but so that you can be a blessing to others and fulfill His greater plan. It positions you to have influence, impact, and the ability to accomplish what He has called you to do. Experiencing supernatural favor doesn't mean life will be free of challenges. In fact, favor often attracts opposition. When God elevates you, the enemy takes notice and resistance may intensify. However, favor is your assurance that God is with you, fighting on your behalf and making a way where there seems to be no way. It empowers you to persevere through trials with confidence, knowing that victory is inevitable because God has already gone before you. Walking in supernatural favor requires stewardship. It is essential to remain humble, recognizing that the favor you experience is not about you, but about God working through you. It also requires obedience, as God's favor is most evident when you align your actions with His will. As you step out in faith, following His leading, His favor will continue to open doors and create opportunities that bring glory to His name. Supernatural favor is not just about what God does for you, it is about who He is. It is a reflection of His goodness, His faithfulness, and His desire to see His purposes fulfilled in your life. When you walk in His favor, you become a living testimony of His power and grace, pointing others to the greatness of the God you serve. Trust in His favor, embrace it with gratitude, and let it propel you into the fullness of your destiny. In closing, remember that every sign of preparation, whether it's divine disruption, unseen growth, increased opposition, fresh vision, isolation for refinement, or supernatural favor, is evidence that God is at work in your life. He is not random, He is intentional. Each step in the process is designed to prepare you, shape you, and equip you for the breakthrough He has ordained. These moments of preparation may feel challenging, even overwhelming, but they are part of a divine strategy to align you with His purpose and propel you into a future far greater than anything you could imagine. Trust the process, embrace the lessons, and remain steadfast in your faith. The God who started this good work in you will be faithful to complete it. He is refining you, strengthening you, and positioning you for impact, not just for your benefit, but for His glory. Your breakthrough is not just about your success, it is about advancing His kingdom and bringing His light into the world. So rise with confidence, knowing that the one who called you is also the one who will sustain you. Walk boldly in the direction of His leading, for your breakthrough is closer than you think. And when it comes, it will not only transform your life, but will also serve as a testimony to the greatness, faithfulness, and love of the God you serve. Stay faithful, stay expectant, and get ready. The best is yet to come.